Retro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. So my PlayStation 3 Essentials journey is all but at an end. I'm currently awaiting some large orders coming from Poland and Switzerland, and once I have those in my possession, I'm down to like the final 3, potentially 4 games that I need to complete that full set. And I've absolutely loved the journey. I've loved learning about the games, I've loved amassing them for my collection, but also the investigative work that's gone into it, the collaborations with Ghetto Gang members and people from around the world that helped me to not only amass the games, but collate the official list of games that exist. And it's kind of left me with a bit of a void. I've kind of enjoyed the journey so much that, yeah, I've got a little bit of an itch that I need to scratch. So I think maybe it's time for me to start on the next journey. And recently I took Ghetto Jr. out for his birthday meal, and I decided to nip into the local CEX, and that's where I would find a game that would set me on a whole new journey. Okay, just taking birthday boy out for dinner. Where are we going to eat, mate?
Cheeky Nando's.
Cheeky Nando's. But where are we going to nip to first?
CEX.
CEX, that's right, let's go. That's right, I'm sure some of you guys guessed it, PlayStation 4 hits. It just felt like a natural progression, right, from PS3 Essentials, and I decided to go for this set for a couple of similar reasons. Firstly, the red spines. You guys know how much I love the red spines and displaying them here in the 3.0, but also because the PS4's got a fantastic library of games, one of the best ever assembled, and up until this point, I've never been an avid PS4 collector, so this is a great way to get a comprehensive library of must-play games for the system. I'm hoping this journey will be a lot easier and more simple, he says, than the PS3 Essentials one, simply because there's a lot less games to collect in this subset. We'll get to that a little bit later on in the video, but also because you don't have to worry about the discs. The PlayStation 4 hits discs, here in PAL at least, are exactly the same as the standard edition, so there's not going to be any of that drama of finding the right game, wrong disc and all that business, so it should be a lot easier from that point of view as well. So yeah, this is the one game that kickstarted a chain of events, and the very next day, I was about to head into Leicester to buy more video games than I've ever bought in one day in my life. Wow, okay, so Leicester CEX has done me a solid when it comes to PS4 hits. I think I've got about 10. I just kept finding them on the shelves. It was like one after the other after the other. See if I can grab them, we'll go through them. So I've got Naruto Shippuden, Mortal Kombat X, Rayman Legends, Little Big Planet 3. And God of War 3 Remastered, God of War 3, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Horizon Zero Dawn, and the more expensive one, which is Bloodborne, which is an £18 game. So yeah, this is the beauty of it, right? This is what I was hoping I'd be able to do with PS3 Essentials, but it didn't quite work out that way with the popularity. So I'm enjoying walking in CEX, finding the games in abundance that I need. Luckily I had a voucher, pretty much covered it. This cost me about £7 in real world money, so what a fantastic way to get my collection going, right? Well, now I've got, what, I think 11 total, so yeah man, really happy with that. On to the next one. Boom! There we have it, 9 games from just the one store. So my first real shop that I hunted, and I managed to find 9 PS4 hits, and we're going to quickly go through these. Now the first one I want to highlight is Bloodborne, and this is one of the more expensive in the set. Now in terms of standard pricing, i.e. what you would pay in CEX for these games, this is one of the most expensive, £18, and at the time of recording none of these games are over £20. Not the standard versions anyway. You'll get to see later on some of these are quite hard to find in the hits format, so you will end up paying a bit more for on eBay. But yeah, Bloodborne is one of the more expensive ones, so I was happy to get that ticked off the list. And then we look at Horizon Zero Dawn, the complete edition. This was me throwing a spanner into the works because some of the Ghetto Gang members had already started this journey ahead of myself, and they'd already put a list together, but at that time they weren't aware that Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition had hits releases. So yeah, for me personally, I'm one of the maniacs that likes to collect every single game, including the more complete and definitive editions of games. So it was nice to have both of those ticked off the list in such a short space of time. And then of course we've got the God of War games, Rayman, Mortal Kombat X, and you know, Naruto Shippuden. These kind of anime games are always worth picking up because from my PS3 Essentials journey experience, they're not the easiest to find on the shelves. So like I say, an absolutely fantastic start, but the trip and the day wasn't over yet because from CEX we headed to the fantastic Game Shack. Wow, this might be the most games I've ever bought in one day. I've pretty much done half the library in one day. You can't quite see, oh you can see them, there we go. Look at all them from the fantastic Game Shack. Yeah, like I say, this is what I love about hunting. This is why I've gone down this route. Essentials kind of petered out, right? But to go to stores and high streets and find loads of games that I want, love it. But we're not stopping yet, let's keep going. So courtesy of Game Shack, I was able to add another 6 games to the collection, and they are Gran Turismo Sport, the Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, Ratchet and Clank, Until Dawn, a game that I'm actually hoping to get to play soon. It's one that has intrigued me for quite a while now. Mad Max, and The Last of Us Remastered. So, it's going very well, but still, there was more games to find on this day. There was one more CEX to hit up on the way home. Okay, 2 more grabbed for the collection, and that's like, I don't know, how many have I found now? About 20 in one day. That's, yeah, some good going. Another 2 to the collection, so that's 17 on the trip itself, which coupled with all the games that I showed on the vlog at the time was, yeah, I think I amassed over 30 games that day, so by far the most games I'd ever found in one day hunting. That was 18 PS4 hits inside of just 24 hours. And it was safe to say at this point that I had caught the PS4 hits bug. I was late to the party, as I said, compared to some of the Ghetto Gang members. There was already a PS4 hits chat section set up, but I was still concentrating on Essentials. And like with Essentials, the gang members used their investigative abilities once again, and this time they amassed the full PS4 hits list. There is still a little bit of debate as to whether a couple of these games exist or not, so we're not going to put it out publicly just yet for anybody else that's interested in having a look at this list, but as it stands, there are 57 games in the PS4 hits library, so way less than the 220-ish that are on the PS3 Essentials journey. So hopefully this is one that won't take me anywhere near as long to complete, or hopefully nowhere near as much money or effort either. So like I say, 18 games in just 24 hours was good going, but I would be out doing a lot more hunting over the next couple of weeks. So over the next 2 weeks, I was able to amass quite a few more with the help of Ghetto Gang members that were fortunate enough to get to game stores which had the used half-price discount. Also searching CEXs, eBay and everywhere else in between, some of which you've just seen on the montage there. But yeah, we're going to go through what I was able to find. And first one on here is Doom. Doom is actually one of the harder ones to find, surprisingly. Who knows, right? I mean, it's just one of them where you don't know which games got released in which country, but had to take to online to find a copy of Doom and got a nice sealed copy. I got a copy of Batman Arkham Knight, Neo, Infamous Second Son. There were 3 Need for Speed games, of which I managed to find 2 thus far. So we've got Need for Speed, and courtesy of Kirkby Sales and Exchange, Need for Speed The Rivals. Again, harking back to my PS3 Essentials journey, I really wanted to get the Dragon Ball games ticked off the list, of which there are 2. So we've got Dragon Ball Xenoverse and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I had to get both of those online, but as a result, they are both brand new and sealed. The Uncharted The Lost Legacy, Resident Evil 6, and one of those games that came courtesy of a Ghetto Gang member via the game half price used sale, Resident Evil Biohazard. So, at this point, that puts me on 29, but we still aren't done. If you saw Sunday's vlog, you will know that I recently visited Dudley, and I mentioned how I purchased a couple of games that I didn't show on that video. I said I'll show them later. Well, here they are. So from the CEX, I managed to find a copy of Terraria, and from Get Gaming, I found this copy of Killzone Shadowfall. This was just £4, and I think what I've proved by amassing 31 games in such a short space of time is that these games right now are readily available, and that was something that really interests me. Being a video game collector that's been doing this for nigh on a decade now, I find it harder and harder to go into video game stores and CEXs and find games that I still need for my collection. When you're hunting for consoles like the Super Nintendo and the Mega Drive, it's very few and far between that you find games that you still need out and about in the wild. So to be able to go out and find so many games so abundantly, it really is very refreshing. And as a collector, it's almost brings back that excitement, right, of going into these stores and going into CEXs and thinking that you might actually come away with something that you need and that you want for your collection. But that's not all, because just yesterday the postman came and dropped me off a couple more. So the first one is courtesy of Ghetto Gang member Lethal Brizzle, and he found me this copy of Street Fighter 5. I believe this was in a CEX. So I was really happy to be ticking that one off the PS4 hits, and this is a one which I believe has come from eBay, so we're going to open this one now as a live unboxing. What is this? Okay, this is quite timely actually, because this is, I think, one of the harder ones to find as part of this set, and that is Dynasty Warriors 9. Just one of the more obscure releases that are within the 57 games available, and yeah, one that I'm very, very happy to be ticking off the list. So as well as all the games that you've seen on this video, there are another 13 which I have currently got accounted for, which I'm waiting to be delivered. So that takes me to a total of, I think, 11 left on this journey. What a journey it's been. Like I said, I've only been really hunting these down for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it just shows you that these games are readily available, and to have amassed so many in such a short space of time, I'm absolutely delighted with it. And I really want to highlight one of the key drivers for me which has led me to go on this journey. And that driver is, unsurprisingly, the look, the aesthetic, how it's going to display here in the 3.0. So my vision is as follows. I'm going to keep, I think, the PS3 Essentials spanning around the bottom of the room. By the time I've got them all, it should just about fill that shelf. And then I'm thinking about putting PlayStation 4 hits right the way down. So by the time all said and done and I've got both sets completed, we should have a full red spanning of spines right the way across the 3.0 games room. And yeah, it's a vision that I've had in the back of my mind for quite some time now, and yeah, it's starting to come to fruition, as you can see by the amount of games that we've got up here. So we're not too far away now from getting the full PS4 hit set, and within the next week or so I should be taking a huge delivery of Essentials, and we can really bring this vision to life. So that's it. When all said and done, I'm going to be at almost 50 PS4 hits in just a short space of time. And let me know what you guys think of the set itself, because it seems to be a lot sort of more killer, less filler, certainly than the PS3 Essentials journey that I'm still going on. There's a lot less, shall we say, mediocre titles in here. Let me know what you think of my plans to have the full red arching across the 3.0 games room. And are these games something which you are currently hunting yourselves, or that you'll be inspired to do so going forward? Let me know all of that down in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed this one, hit the like button, and of course make sure you subscribe to keep abreast of this journey. As always, thank you very much for watching. Play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you all real soon. Take care.
You're watching the Retro Ghetto.
Ghetto.
Ghetto!
Yeah!
Lock into the retro ghetto. Come and have a look around the ghetto. We got Sonic and Staples settle. Lock into the retro ghetto.